Cancer is no longer a death sentence. I'm Dr. William Makis, a Canadian physician, board certified in nuclear medicine, radiology, and oncology. I run the world's largest ivermectin cancer clinic. Over the past 2 years, I've helped over 6,500 cancer patients with repurposed drugs like ivermectin, mebendazole, and fenbendazole. Chemotherapy can be very difficult on cancer patients, and some cancer patients really can't even handle chemotherapy. But those who can, they can really enhance their results by adding ivermectin. Over the past year, having treated over 6,000 cancer patients, there have been some incredible stories. We had a prostate cancer patient who was diagnosed with stage 4. Everybody knew it was a terminal case. The patient got an appointment with an oncologist. The best they were going to get was a palliative chemo to give them maybe a couple of extra months of life. But in Canada at the same time, the patient also got an appointment for MAID, which stands for Medical Assistance in Dying. It's euthanasia. One of the family members got very upset at this and so started the patient on fenbendazole, which is almost identical to mebendazole. And then they added ivermectin to it as well. And after about 4 or 5 months, this patient that hadn't gone for their appointment for euthanasia became cancer-free. They went from stage 4 pancreatic cancer to being cancer-free. And so this was a life saved, and not just saved, but a patient who'd really beaten cancer. In January of this year, Mel Gibson was on Joe Rogan's podcast and started talking about some of his friends who had stage 4 cancer and who were really in bad shape.
I have 3 friends. All 3 of them had stage 4 cancer. All 3 of them don't have cancer right now at all. And they had some serious stuff going on.
And what did they take?
Jesus. They took some, what you've heard they've taken.
Ivermectin?
Fenbendazole.
Fenbendazole, yeah.
That's
yeah, I'm hearing that a lot.
They took those repurposed drugs and they're now cancer-free. And when I was watching that interview, I realized that I had treated one of those friends. This was a gentleman that I had treated actually very early on when I had started my clinic. So it's one of my earliest patients actually. And lovely gentleman. And, at some point he had told me that Mel Gibson was his best friend. And I thought, well, that's nice. That to me, it didn't click or didn't connect in any way. And so, he did really, really well. And then when I saw the clip of Mel Gibson talking about his friends, I thought, hey, wait a minute, I treated one of those friends of his. So this is just one of the many, fantastic stories that we see.
That's amazing.
Hi, I'm Michael Kunzler. I'm one of the co-founders of All Family Pharmacy, a family-owned pharmacy here in Boca Raton, Florida, where we compound all of our drugs like ivermectin and mebendazole to the highest of purity. At All Family Pharmacy, it's not about the profits, it's about helping people. That's what we've always been about. We've been doing this since 2020, 2021. We don't care about profits, we care about the people, we care about our community, we care about our family. That's why we're All Family Pharmacy. We have thousands of patients who come to us looking for help, looking for answers with stage 4 cancer, stage 3, stage 2. They get scared at every stage. You could take a cheap drug like ivermectin, mebendazole, fenbendazole, and you could save lives using cheap generic drugs that are repurposed for an alternative use. I think it's amazing. As somebody who's lost relatives to cancer, I've watched it firsthand. Stage 4 specifically, it's not fun. It's disheartening, it's depressing. So many things can go on. So just in that turn alone, I would love to be a part of it in any way possible.
Yeah, it's a historical event. We've never seen this kind of support for repurposed drugs. Cancer drugs are actually the biggest moneymaker for big pharma. The cancer drug industry is worth about $200 billion annually, and that's projected to grow over the next 10 years up to $500 billion. We've learned, unfortunately, over the last 5 years in the COVID-19 pandemic that you often can't trust people who have other interests, financial interests in mind. And repurposed drugs like ivermectin, mebendazole, fenbendazole, they're very cheap and they threaten a big portion of the profits that cancer drugs bring in. And so, all family pharmacy is right at the forefront of this, what I would say is a revolution in cancer treatment, because this is really a game changer. These repurposed drugs that are cheap but highly effective and showing promise of potentially curing stage 4 cancers like pancreatic cancer, ovarian cancer, colon cancer, which in many cases are considered death sentences. These cancers are now potentially curable. And that's a big threat to the cancer drug industry.
I think a retail pharmacy like us, who is not a drug manufacturer, we're not part of Big Pharma. We sell to our community, we sell to our family, our friends, people all over the United States. Partnering up with an independent cancer research doctor like Dr. Makis is amazing for the community. It's amazing for the people, because we're going to offer these repurposed drugs at cheap costs, high doses, but great protocols. And we're going to defeat these companies that are doing these immunotherapies at hundreds of thousands of dollars, putting people in bankruptcy, increasing insurance costs through the roof that people can't even afford nowadays. I watched my family suffer from cancer. I don't want to see your family suffer from cancer. We're here to help you, to do what we can. Dr. Makis is going to do everything in his power to help you.
With repurposed drugs, I think we can really cure some of these cancers, or at least give patients a much longer life.